Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. And what are we doing today? Well, we're working on formerly known as Project Catwy, but has been redubbed to Tainted Bloodlines because Project Catwy was a terrible name and I hated it. So I decided to redo it. So I did a little bit of the boring stuff, such as getting attributes and skills in place the other night. But that doesn't mean we're done yet. So, the original plan, in my infinite wisdom, was I was going to make a really simple D20 system, and bada bing, bada boom, everything works. However, the more I looked into it, the more I realized that that wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work at all. And I played around with it, I poked it a bit, and it just didn't function properly. So I ended up having to resort to an old document of mine, which contained just a few system ideas, and I ended up making the D2000 system. Now, D2000 is based off of the Megaversal system, which, to those who don't know, is effectively the system for all the Palladium games, most notably Rifts. It's interesting, because it uses D20 and D100s. Same time. Sound confusing? I know. Where I'm also drinking Jack Daniel's Blackjack Cola. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like a really cheap Jack and Coke. It's literally all it is. So it was cheap though, only like $9 for a 6-pack. So what do I have so far? So we have our basic. I should put a thing right there. Our basic setup, and pretty much it's a roll under system. You have a D20 roll under as well as D100 roll under. And let's see. We have our. Instead of having a target number, I just did a very basic. This is what a simple attribute check looks like. Opposed attribute, skill checks, opposed skill checks. And then we have splicer baseline creation. That's what I'm going to be referring to them as, is splicers. Hence the term genetic splicing. And in case you are wondering why I didn't stream the other day, for two reasons. One, I realized that I needed to do something. So I said, hey, I'm going to lay down for a second just to get my head in the right place. And I woke up 2 hours later and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that again. And I also, quickly realized that this was going to be a lot bigger than I thought, because I'm effectively going to have to do a bunch of genetic coding, and that's going to be fun. Dying internally, but hey, what do I know, right? Right. I'm fine. Life's fine. I'm okay. Nothing is wrong. If we just ignore the problems, they go away. So we have our basic attributes of beauty, body, feral, mental, and reflexes. And skills. Skills are going to be a little bit weird because there's quite a few skills. However, not all of them are useful. If I want to get, not a lot of them are useful. They're very specific, but they tie into a system I'm debating on putting in, which is effectively passing down skills to the next generation. I'm kind of playing into that genetic idea. Like everything is going to get passed down from A to B to C. So beauty skills, pretty bog standard ones, body skills, feral skills, mental skills. So I think in total there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37 skills. Quite a few, but that's the point. So, now we're going to be working on the base genome. This is effectively basic character creation of where you start out as. If you notice, though, as I go through here, I never actually say what your amounts are, because that's going to be determined by, ta-da, your base genome. Okay, so and unfortunately, these are going to be This is going to be a very not super genetic sadness time stream. This is going to be a lot of making this sure the system works. I might actually even just go until I get everything I want done. Or this may be quite a long stream. So gladiator, entertainer. Let's see. Diplomat. Athlete. Companion. Companion. Blackfinger. When refer. And what these are, what I'm doing right now is trying to get effectively a set of, I wouldn't necessarily call them classes, but classes that kind of determine your initial setup and what your skills look like, what your abilities look like. Oh. Labor. Alright, I think these will work. And that means we ought to start up another Google Sheet. This is Google Sheets, not the greatest site ever, but it works for me. I typed in Google Sheets in there, and we're going to call it Tainted Bloodlines spreadsheet. So spread of shit. Base genome. And we're going to have to go with beauty, body, not reflex, feral, mental, reflex. And then we get to determine our basics. So we want to do data, create a filter. So effectively our average is going to be 10 is going to be average, and our total is, let's see, what I want to do, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Our total is going to want to be around 50. Actually, I can tone that down to 45. Okay, if we say 10 is the average, they want to... No, we'll keep it at 50. So, here's what I'm going to do. For my own sanity, I'm going to do this, and then edit it as it goes. So we're going to have to do equals C3 G3. Is that it? Oh, god damn it. I used to be so good at these. Data, where is the math? Oh my gosh. I always hate it because I always end up. No, I didn't mean. God damn it. I want to do insert function sum. Okay. And then we just go down here, double check. All right, everything is exactly the way I'd like it. And here we go. So our basic athlete is pretty much someone who is supposed to look good. So we're going to pump that up to 12. Be good. Not very stable, not very smart, but have decent reflexes. So what I can do is I can pump it like that. So actually put like this. Black fingers are all very smart. Have a weak body. Terrible beauty. Decent reflex. Companions are supposed to look good. Not necessarily be healthy. Be incredibly not feral. And be fairly wise. Diplomats are obviously supposed to be very attractive. Not very physically fit. Obviously not very feral. But also fairly intelligent. Entertainers are 14. Let's keep that at 10. We'll bump that down to 8. We'll bump mental down that far because you're not supposed to be terribly wise, and keep reflexes there. So 14, 6, 10. Gladiator. I actually bought the redux of that game, and I felt so sad. Actually, we want that 12, 12, 12, and that means we can put you down to 6. Ooh, do I want to even pump it lower? Ugh. And Hunter, we want to make you fairly feral. Well, it doesn't really have high attributes, so we don't have any noticeable changes there, so we're going to make you that way. And on the labor, obviously, we can jack that down. We're going to make them super tough. Not terribly feral, because they don't know anything else. Dumb as a brick. With moderately decent reflexes. Pets. There we go, 1488, 146. And finally, servants. I'm going to actually make servants 10 across the board. They're pretty average on everything they do. Alright. And turn off filter. We want to do that. Actually, can I just put you in Nutino right now? Yeah, Nutino 12. Black, 0.75, middle alignment, center alignment, okay. There we go. Attributes. So we want to do our base genomes again. And now we want to do skills. So, actually no. Or let's just write them out. I think that'll be the easiest. So, athlete. The Splicer was created to be a perfect athlete, an individual of impeccable strength and charisma to win the hearts of the masses. What? As with a actually, akin to a racehorse, though. Once their value ran out, or they stopped performing, they were discarded. And we're going to select dominant skills, body, dominant skills, body, recessive skills, beauty. No. How do I want to do this? Okay, so dominant skills, acrobatics, athletics, performance, sense and resolve, recessive skills, actually resolve, choose to feral, body or feral skills. Actually, should be body or mental skills. Oh, wait, body or sense, no, gymnastics, and resolve, and recessive skills, choose 3 skills. That's how I want to do this. Being by their compatriots. The base genome of the character serves as their starting template of their attributes, which in turn reflect their skills. When determining the first character of the colony, for set of characters of the colony, each skill is 5 times the attribute. Yeah, so it's 5 times the attribute, so... Actually, is that what I want to do? Or do I want to do 3? No, I don't want to do the 3, 4, 5 method I was thinking of. Actually, the fun fact is I've never actually done a D100 system, so this is kind of its own special world in me trying to not kill myself and figure out what the hell this actually is. becoming the first set of characters of the colony. Each skill is 5 times the attribute. Okay, yeah. And depending on the starting genome, on the base genome, the character has a set of dominant and recessive skills. During subsequent generations, the dominant skill will remain at 5 times the value of the attribute, while recessive skills will go down to 4 times the value of the attribute. 4 times the value of the attribute. All other skills will be calculated. All other skills will be calculated by the average of the two bloodlines skill values. Actually, no. Will be calculated by how do I want to do this? Actually, during subsequent generation, dominant skill will remain at 5 times the value of the attribute, while recessive skills will go down to 4 times the value of the attribute. All further skills will be reduced to 3 times the value of the attribute. So effectively what I'm trying to get across here is the first generation, you have people built for purpose. All these characters are built for purpose. You are an athlete, you are a Blackfinger, you are a companion, you are a diplomat. After that first generation, though, you're not built for purpose. You're a gene freak, effectively. You're getting built on each other. So if your dominant genes say, well, you want this, well, that comes the problem, because you want to obviously pass on these valuable skills to the next generation. But which valuable skills? Is musical instruments very important compared to, say, hunting? But only one person has hunting, so you want to make sure that their dominance. It's very actually what I should do is put a note here. With 2 bloodline, a dominant skill will always replace a recessive skill. Let's see, a dominant skill. A splicer bloodline may have 5 dominant skills at any point, at any time, but can have have as many recessive skills as needed. If two bloodlines merge, actually I should say the genetically advanced, the more genetically complex bloodlines skills roll over. Skills become dominant, and the others become recessive. Two dominant skills. If the bloodlines have two of the same dominant skills, it becomes locked. Actually, it becomes locked and cannot be bred out. Actually, how do I want to? No. Any recessive skills is needed. No, I'm just going to keep it like this. So, dominant skills more effectively choose 5 body or reflex skills. Recessive, choose 2 body or reflex skills. Actually, I should say, yeah, I'm gonna do 3, 5. If a recessive skill does not come into contact with another recessive skill or a dominant skill, that recessive skill is lost. If a dominant and a recessive skill merge, that dominant skill becomes recessive. So it's very easy to lose these dominant and recessive skills unless you really... So you really want to split your bloodlines up. So you don't want athletes merging with athletes, because you're just going to end up with these very hyper-focused people who are going to have the same goddamn skills. Actually, skill or dominance. If a recessive skill does not come to contact. I'm going to have to write an entire goddamn section on this, aren't I? And it's going to annoy the shit out of me, but... So what I'm going to do for now... is this... Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, you will have 8. So you'll have only 4 that you don't have. You're not even anything in. as an athlete, but that makes sense because all of these are very much based on you being the perfect athlete. And not really good at anything else. Blackfinger. Workshops always required more bodies to fill the production lines. And the character was one of them. Noted to be called a Blackfinger due to their greasy hands. These splicers were prized until a broken bone or illness rendered them unusable. And dominant skills, 3 mental, actually I should say, 3 mental skills, recessive skills, 5 mental or reflex skills, and labor. Companion. The rich and powerful were able to afford the character as a personal companion. One they could one above a servant and a pet, but still kept in a gilded cage for their amusement. Once they stopped being entertaining, they find themselves a replacement. And dominant skills, 3 beauty. And recessive, 5 beauty skills. 5 beauty skills or mental. Deal your mental skills. And diplomat. Rather than risk the lives of corporate assets, splicers would be sent in their stead. While most returned in one piece, others return with a decapitated head. The character was of the former, serving their purpose and being left in the dirt afterwards. Dominant skills, 2 beauty skills, and diplomacy. Actually, beauty or mental skills, and recessive, 4 beauty or mental skills, and resolve. Entertainer. In entertainment, Splicer has one of the most diverse careers in front of them, being used by the masses for their own entertainment and more problematic desires. Once their value has run out, they are discarded and replaced. Dominant skills, 2 beauty and perform, recessive, 5 reflex. Actually, it should be beauty, mental, or reflex skills. Fun fact about splicers, I for those who follow my YouTube channel at all, you know that I wrote a book actually, and am currently in the process of editing everything down. And I actually used splicers in the same capacity actually there. So indirectly, you could say this is a part of my greater canon, but it's really not. I use the same ideas and same logic behind it, but not the same setting. Oh, I could reference it if I really wanted to, but nah, who cares? So we've got Entertainer, and I know exactly what I plan on using for that one. Gladiator. War. Bloodsport. Bloodsport is a major pastime of the masses above. Watching two splicers savagely beat, stab, and murder one another for victory and meager rations. However, when an owner knows that a gladiator is past their prime, they may choose to release them to the greater wild, rather than suffer the embarrassment. Dominant skills. Performance, athletics, melee weaponry. Yeah, you don't really get that many options with the gladiator. And then recessive skills. Choose 5 body, feral, or reflex skills. The English. Hunter. Lower dregs. Society are filled with gene freaks, mutants, and other ne'er-do-wells of society. A hunter splicer is designed to be the perfect bloodhound in the new era. But every animal has a breaking point, and a hunter is no different. And the character finally broke, going a little too far away from their handlers. Dominant skills. Choose 3 body or feral skills. recessive. Choose 5 body, feral, or reflex skills. Labora. Mines need to be mined. Factories need grunts. And the world needs more. Needs more bodies to throw at problems. The character was one of these laborers. Disposable assets. Assets meant to be used, abused, and thrown away. Skills. Choose 2 body or reflex skills and labor. Recessive skills. Choose 5 body, mental, or reflex skills. Pet. A pet splicer is a showpiece. One to demonstrate the wealth and power of the individual. They are models to be shown around to do tricks and be rewarded by master. But sometimes master stops caring, tosses aside their pet for a new, shinier one. Dominant skills, choose 3 beauty. Beauty skills. Recessive, choose 5 beauty or feral skills. Servant. Most common kind of splicer is one designed to serve. Gene freak pumped out of a mistaken batch, given to the highest bidder, and told to work until they die. Some are simply given away by kind creators or owners, unwilling and uncaring about their lesser kin. Dominant, choose 3 skills. Recessive, choose 5 skills. Actually, I should say 2 skills, 4 skills. Now I'll do 3, 5. By the master. Laborer. Ne'er-do-wells, go a little too far. Handlers, Control-Shift-8. Okay, so I have this set up. Okay. So just a complete blanket, maybe if sort of case. Let's just... So, overall, so a servant had 50% in all of these. And you could select something like, let's say, trade, pilot, and ranged weaponry. This is actually, let's do... This is dominant. He chose these three and has his recessive. He chose that. These are his recessive. These are his contortion. Contortionist. Actually, if I want to do this... How do I want to do this? Dominant skills remain 5 times value of the attribute. The recessive skills will go down 4 times value of the attribute. All the further skills will be reduced to 3 times the value of the attribute. So if he so for example, if this servant goes down to the 2nd generation of his bloodline, things like barter would be at like 30%, diplomacy 30%. You're pretty much losing the ability to do, you know, cool, weird things. But you're maintaining like trade, pilot, range, you know, you're maintaining your bloodlines, like specific thing. Okay. Because you want gimmicks. And then you want to breed in more dominant skills so you get to maintain higher dominant skills. Yes, okay. I'm going to take this out. Oh, no, didn't mean to do that. Take that out as of right now. And then we get to start out with... Mutated strains. Splicers are born mutants, created and spliced different genes and concepts to further enhance their abilities and as well as to legally be distinctive from human beings to avoid any sort of human rights abuses. Splicers are not human. They are splicers. The initial batch of splicers. The initial splicers will have a single mutation to signify their inherent abilities Yeah. God, what's the best way of wording this? Initial splicers have a single mutation to signify their legacy of being above ground splicers. Signify their legacy. And what we're going to have to do now, because I'm very lazy, mutation charts. Okay, so we want mutation charts, TTRPG, mutation tables. Maybe I should say... Gamma World Mutation Table. Okay, so hello, Goblin Punch. I'm going to have to hunt down more things. Okay, looks like the music's actually done, so we can turn on the other bit. Some relaxing guitar by Mono Man. Find him on YouTube. So we're going to need... Let's see. Nope, hoping I would actually find a chart to work with. Right, mutation channels. Ah, that's what we like to see. Joule. Oh, sweet Christ. Oh, sweet. Okay. What I'm going to do right here is casually ignore my problems. And we're going to move on to combat. What do you mean by, like, no, Padana, why are we moving immediately onto combat? Well, we're moving immediately onto combat because this is going to be a pain in the ass to actually do. and because I have the idea of how it works. It's just doing that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm out of beer. It's going to be a long and boring time of me doing things. I said I was going to go until I finish things, but I think we did a lot of the little things today, just getting all of this set up. So I will try tomorrow to go on just to make up for the previous days. And it's, unfortunately, we're hitting the point where it's going to be just a lot of 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. It's just going to be a lot of little things until I get this mutagenic strains, pretty much the mutation tables set up. Once that's set up, everything else kind of works together. And I was hoping I could do more without having to resort to that, but I was like, ah, crap, I'm going to have to. So, thank you all for watching. I know this wasn't exactly the most pulse-pounding stream of me being dead silent, looking at my screen, cursing at myself, but I digress. So, thank you all. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. This will get uploaded to YouTube eventually, but see you when I see you.